Hey guys, welcome back to Chronicles of Nectin. Now, in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about self-esteem. Self-esteem might be a word you've heard somewhere, or you probably already know the meaning of self-esteem, but I'm going to shed a little bit light on self-esteem for people that have never understand the word self-esteem. Now, in psychology, the term self-esteem is used to describe a person's overall subjective sense of personal worth or value. In other words, self-esteem may be defined as how you appreciate and like yourself irregardless of the circumstances. Now, in simpler words, I can describe self-esteem to be how much you value yourself no matter the situation at hand, how much you see yourself, what words you place yourself in life. Now, what are the determinants of self-esteem? One of the things that determines self-esteem is self-confidence. For a lot of people that know me, a lot of them knows that I'm a pusher of confidence. I'm always going to tell you that get your confidence high, always be confident about this. I'm always about the word confidence, and self-confidence is a major factor that influences self-esteem. Sense of belonging and feeling of competence, these are other factors that also determine self-esteem. Now, on today's episode, the major part of self-esteem that I'll be talking about is the low self-esteem. What do we see as the low self-esteem? They said low self-esteem manifests in varieties of ways, and one of the ways low self-esteem manifest is that you may believe that others are better than you. You may find expressing your needs difficult. You may focus on your weakness. You may have an intense fear of failure. You may have trouble accepting positive feedback. You may have trouble saying no and setting boundaries. You may put people's needs before your own. The one thing that baffles me is that a lot of people that have low self-esteem don't even know they have low self-esteem. I mean, it's not like a sickness that shows out to your physical body that, okay, this is affecting you. But I found out that due to my personal research that a certain percentage of young people have low self-esteem and they don't even know about it. Now, let me give you an hypothetical situation. A person that always likes to show off just for the fact of showing people that you are up to a particular standard, or to prove your point. This could be, I know a lot of people disagree with me on this, but this could be as a result of low self-esteem. Now, it shows that you believe that a lot of people are better than you, and for the fact that you have to show that you are worth something, you have to show off that you have this particular dress, you have this particular house or car or device to mash up the perception people have about you. This is a big sign of low self-esteem that exists among young people and could be really harmful. They said you might have trouble saying no and setting boundaries. I think this is also an important factor of low self-esteem. A lot of young people don't know how to say no when it comes to some instance, and setting of boundaries is just impossible for them. When you have low self-esteem, whatever people ask you to do, you barely have time to say no. You find it so hard to say no. People ask you to do things that you are literally going to go out of your comfort, and you still end up saying yes just because of the fact that you think you don't measure up to them. This is a big sign of low self-esteem that some people have not taken time to notice about their own life. And another factor is putting people's needs before yourself. Now, for a lot of people that know me, they know that in critical situations, I like helping people a lot, but like in critical situations, I'm not going to put anyone above myself. Putting yourself first is not selfish. It's not. A lot of people would tag you as being self-centered, but it's not. It's just showing yourself that you value yourself enough that you can actually place yourself above all the other things. When you find yourself doing things out of your comfort, you are going extra for other people rather for yourself, then you have a big problem on low self-esteem, and you need to do something about it. Now, having an intense fear of failure, so there's nothing, see, I'm always going to say this, there's nothing bad in failing. Failure is part of life. No human being can be so perfect that they will not have to fail at one point in their life. Now, now it is not good to fail, obviously, but you should not have that particular intent of failing at anything in life, because failure is just a phase of life that everybody's going to go through. When you find yourself having an intense fear of failure, then you are struggling with low self-esteem. Self-esteem is so much important that a lot of people don't find time to talk about it. I don't know why, and people ignore the importance to which self-esteem can influence a young person's life. Now, the best thing I'm always going to talk about in self-esteem is having an healthy self-esteem. I'm not going to ever tell you to have an overly high self-esteem, because that is as equally wrong as to having esteem itself. For you to help yourself, if you are struggling with a low self-esteem, is try to get an healthy self-esteem. Now, one of the ways you can have an healthy self-esteem is avoid dwelling on past negative experience. Probably one time in your life you've had negative experience that has been troubling you over in your mind. You should try to get rid of it. If you are finding it hard, you could get a therapist or a counselor to help you with all these thoughts. And the second is believe you are equal to everyone else. Know better and know worse. The one thing my close friends know me for is that I believe so much in equality. I don't believe that there's anybody above me, regardless of your status, your financial status, your social economic status. I'm not just going to think that you're above me, because I believe everyone has equal rights in this life, and no one should be above anybody for any particular reason. And you should not value someone else above yourself, because you are so much special in your own way. Expressing your own needs. You should find a way to express yourself. This is one way to have an healthy self-esteem. You should always try to express yourself in the best possible way you can, and feel confident. Like I said earlier, I'm a preacher of confidence. The best thing, one of my friends always says, the best dress you can always wear is your confidence. People like when you're always confident. Confidence shows that you know what you're doing. Confidence shows that you believe in your own ability and you can actualize that yourself, and have a positive outlook on life. You should always try to look at the positive part of life, not always trying to focus on negative, and try not to be pessimistic in life. Just try to have that positive outlook of life, and be able to say no when you want to. Saying no should not be hard. Everybody knows me. There's no single person on earth can't say no to, and that's helped my self-esteem very much from a younger age. I have the ability to say no at any time I want. And lastly, set boundaries. Boundaries are so much important in friendship, in your relation with people at work, family members. Make sure they understand boundaries. When you allow people to overstep the boundaries, then you are making yourself, you are reducing your self-valuation. You always have to put this boundary. People should know how much they should be able to interfere in your life. You shouldn't give room for people to be able to interfere so much in your life, because that is just damaging your self-valuation. You need to give yourself that value, that people need to know that, okay, I can do this, I can't do this for that person. You shouldn't be so easily accessible. And lastly, you should see your overall strengths and weaknesses and accept them. Accepting flaws is one great power of self-esteem, because when you've found a way to love yourself, love your flaws, love bad side. I don't believe anybody has a bad side, but when you love the flaws in yourself, nothing in this world would be able to bring you down. And Having an healthy self-esteem can help you motivate you to reach your goal, because you are able to navigate life knowing that you are capable of accomplishing what you set your mind to. Now, in conclusion, I'm just going to give an advice to every single one listening to this, is this: that you should be able to assess your life. Look at your life. Do you have a low self-esteem, or are you battling with all these problems? And try to assess yourself. Remember, self-love is the master of everything. There is nobody on earth that is going to love you in as much as you should love yourself. Nobody's going to love you that way. So you should always love yourself, place yourself high, set boundaries with people, and know what to do. I'm not, like I said, I'm not pushing that you should be overly self-confident, because that is equally as bad as having low self-esteem. You should not be overly self-confident. You should have a very good self-confidence when it comes to things in life, because it will help you very much. And I believe that when you are able to assess your life and take all these things serious, having an healthy self-esteem will be easy for you. Thank you very much for listening on this episode. Till the next time.